sorry that I can't be with you in person today. This is the next best thing.
Hey, I'm a very loyal Cyclone from Iowa. Hello, I'm Everett Rogers at the University of Michigan, and I want to talk with you today about diffusion research.
Well, you did a wonderful job because your definition of development gained wide acceptance. In fact, it's still cited today. I did that a couple of days ago.
I'm one of your footnotes.
You are indeed, Prof.
I think I may have been an Indian in a previous life. I've had people tell me that perhaps I was once an Indian. I've always felt at home in India, and I think I'm one of these many Americans who just loves your country, and I keep coming back, and I've been coming back for now all these 24 years. I'll probably be coming back for the next 24, I hope so.
I'd have to say that the 20 years that I knew him, what came through for me as a person who worked with him as a student, as a colleague, as a co-author, as a friend, was his humanity. He was a person who believed in human beings, who nurtured and nourished human beings, who just connected with people in ways that only he could.
From my father, I got an interest in electromechanical, mathematical, scientific matters. From my mother, this interest in reading widely, and from the whole setting of living close to poverty. I got early experience at hard work, let's put it that way.
If we think of the communication process, let's say starting with some event and then a mass medium carrying a message and then an audience out here, I'd been out running around in the audience, studying the audience and how the message spread among them and how what channels they used and how the message got to them. So I was over on this end of the process. And when I moved to Michigan State, some of my students were interested in such things as how mass media institutions operated, and how they processed information. So the move to Michigan State also marked my widening my let's say, scope of interest to covering more of the mass communication process rather than just working around out here in the audience end. But still, most of my efforts yet today are devoted to what happens within the audience as an effect of the mass communication process.
Perhaps more than anyone else in the communication field during the last 50 years has worked across fields and across disciplines. So between sociology and communication and with psychologists and with folks in public health, international development, a lot of people in education, people in engineering. He has had, not just in terms of research relationships and working on projects together, but his scholarship has resulted, of course, in this paradigm. Perhaps he will be remembered as being very central in the institutionalization of the communication field. Perhaps. Clearly he's played a very strong role in that field, in our field, but the fact is, I think, he has been between fields and between disciplines, and that's where he's wanted to be, because that's where he's seen the greatest value in terms of social problems and social solutions to problems.
He was interested in helping people, and I can appreciate that. His notions about how to use mass media to introduce health practices that would improve conditions for members of a society, I think were clear-cut attempts to help people live better, to help people live a more satisfactory life.
They say this in either a nicer or less nice way. They say, well, we thought you would look a little older than you do. We thought, they usually say, we thought you'd have a mane of white hair. I am getting some white hair. But I think what they're saying is you're sort of at least an older man in this field, an older person in this field, and you don't look very old. And what that really means is that our field is pretty young, and that a lot of the history is yet to be written, and I hope that some of our viewers who see what we talked about today may themselves take part in writing that history.